Karen Barnes, principal at Ryerson Community School.
We're here today to release our 13th annual report on Ontario's publicly funded schools with a student, Maria Bunn, with Camille Quenneville, who's from the Children's Mental Health of Ontario, Kelly Gallagher-Mackay, who is a doctoral candidate at OISE at the University of Toronto, and Aimee Gerdevich, who is from Thunder Bay and is the president of the Ontario Association of Parents in Catholic Education. What we want to see is broader goals for education and a bolder vision for education that really fits within our 21st century needs and everything that we understand in the 21st century about what allows kids to thrive, what allows people to grow up to be successful, not just in school but in their lives, and that our understanding nowadays of the interconnectedness of things that affect children and families and young people. And
fundamentally, there's a lack of services for children and youth across the province in need of mental health supports. When a parent suspects that their child may have a mental health issue, they often reach that conclusion in conjunction with their child's teacher. And depending on where they live, their path to finding help for their child may be unnecessarily complicated and stressful.
We're seeing the resources plateau in important areas like libraries, arts, and physical health education as schools emphasize literacy and numeracy targets. Research underscores the importance of these areas for a truly excellent system of education, one that promotes high-order thinking, social intelligence, and children's well-being. 72% of the schools in our surveys report obstacles implementing the relatively recent requirement for 20 minutes a day of physical activity in elementary schools. Problems include lack of space, resources, training, and lack of time in the day. Only 40% of elementary schools have a specialist health and physical education teacher. That teacher often doesn't teach all students. We see a similar story in the areas of libraries and the arts. For the arts, the European Parliament has just passed this year a resolution recommending arts education be compulsory in school at all levels. They cite learning benefits that go beyond direct skills to boosting communication, teamwork, motivation, and so forth.
Aimee, as I said, is here from Thunder Bay.
There are really good things going on in our schools too. We have got really dedicated individuals that have focused on making good relationships and ensuring that the students and our kids and that are coming first, no matter. In the north, our economic realities over the last number of years and that have caused a lot of communities to experience unbelievable declining enrollment. Realities for the kids in our smaller communities is the fact that, if you've got someone in Kenora and they've got the small schools and they're doing the best they can, if they want to look at taking something else, they've got to drive 6 hours to Thunder Bay. Or come
Trustee, and she is now the president-elect for next year.
I think that the most important part that concerns students in this report is transforming schools into places that reflect more than just somewhere for the accumulation of knowledge, but rather thriving community hubs that have other opportunities for students to engage in learning in multifaceted ways, whether that's social or through physical activities or through interaction with their peers and their community. There's so much more in education that we can explore other than the excellent results we've had thus far. One of the ways to do that is to create partnerships with municipalities, community, prominent community people, and community programs in order to allow more opportunities for students to participate in real-life experiences rather than just being in a classroom and accumulating knowledge from a traditional perspective. So I think that this report is very forward-thinking in its approach, and certainly it reflects the student voice. I know that there have been consultations with the Ontario Student Trustees Association, and a lot of the input that students across the province have been giving us is really reflected in the report that People for Education has put out this year.